our voice, not because of, we have power in our voice, but we understand in our relationship, He's as concerned about your voice as you are concerned with His voice. Now notice the psalmist didn't say, hear my cry and leave it there. He didn't just say, hear my words. But he uses the phrase, hear my voice. Wait when I explain that in a minute. This is going to be mindset altering. He says, let your ear become attentive to the voice of my supplication. Different from the word cry. If thou, Lord, should mark iniquity, O Lord, who shall stand? A recognition of where he's been. But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. And notice how the psalmist is now moving from, I'm crying out of a low place. My voice needs to be heard by your ear in this special type of prayer called supplication. A recognition that if I got what I deserved, I wouldn't be here anyway. But I'm here. And now your forgiveness causes me to respond to you in a different way. It births a reverence and an honor. I love verse 5. I believe it's the key verse in this psalm. I wait for the Lord. My soul doth wait, and in His word do I hope. If there's a verse in all of the Bible you want to put to memory, is Psalm 135. I wait for the Lord. That's what you do. My soul doth wait. And he clarifies what is waiting in your life for the Lord. Your soul is waiting. And in His word is where your hope is. Verse 6. He says it again. My soul waits for the Lord, more than they that watch for the morning. I'm going to explain that. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. Now, why would he repeat that phrase? Because that was such a significant phrase to those who were hearing this psalm or song for the first time. It's almost like the hearers that say, what? And it is saying that the practice of the selected men to not sleep at night, but to watch for the breaking of a new day, was so significant that he said, my soul is doing the same thing as the literal watchmen do at night. I'll talk more about it in a minute. Let Israel hope in the Lord. Now, and even in my notes, these reflect 2006, but even in my notes, I'm speaking of Israel here in the corporate. Even Israel hopes in the Lord. For with the Lord there is mercy, and with Him is plenteous redemption. Verse 8. And He shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Now, when did corporate Israel become a he? Because we know that we usually speak of the corporate people of God as a her. So is this speaking of corporate Israel? Or as we looked last week, is this still a play on the life of Jacob? And how Jacob found forgiveness and mercy and a change in his life. Well, let's go back. This psalm is about the movement of your soul to a place in God where not only is forgiveness understood, but mercy is declared. So, I've been saved most of my life, a Christian most of my life. I've been pastoring over 23 years. And so I've met with a lot of people over those years and pastored churches and seen a lot of people come and go. And I've seen a lot of people with multiple issues that happen in their life. And almost exclusively, here's what I found out. that if I had 3 people stand up here tonight, and I'm not going to, but just say I did, over here, this is your spirit. Let's say your spirit. We have learned disciplines to feed the spirit, right? What are some? Prayer. What else? Fasting. Reading the Word. These are disciplines that feed our spirit man. And as often as you don't do those things, determines the strength of your spirit to deal with the flesh. Now over here, we have the body. Now the body, we have learned, or maybe we haven't quite learned yet, the disciplines of our body. Some of us are on a weight loss process, and sometimes we're winning and sometimes we're losing. But what are we learning? Abuse your body, sow bad habits, reap what you sow. Sometimes we're praying God to heal us from stuff that are nothing more than our garden coming to fruition. I'll leave it alone right there. So we've got to learn now how to make good decisions. What we eat, how we rest. I mean, all of these things are important. Exercise. And we do that. Most people are engaged. But in the middle, let's talk about your soul. Now, hear me. This may be the most important thing I say tonight. Y'all got to hear me. As a teacher, I have to tell you this. For many of us were raised being taught that your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. Right? I will tell you that there is no legitimate dictionary. There are dictionaries, and then there are legitimate dictionaries. The kind of dictionaries I was raised under would be considered probably not legitimate dictionaries. Any dictionary that gives you 15 definitions for that one word is not a legitimate dictionary. Because a word doesn't mean 15 different